If what you see is what you get, then you get an awful lot in Switzerland. But travel is so much more than just picture postcard views. It's also what's there when you close your eyes, the tastes, the smells, and the sounds. I've come to the Toggenburg region in northeastern Switzerland to sample the physical and auditory landscapes and learn a bit about the history of alpine sound through the Klangwelt, or sound world. Part museum, part hiking trail, it's a unique way to experience alpine landscape and history. My guide for the day is Roland Liechtensteiger of Toggenburg Tourism. And what a day it is! Guarded by the imposing mountain Santis and flanked by the 7 peaks of the Kurfürsten Range, our jumping-off point is the village of Alt St. Johann. First up, a hike along the Klangweg, or sound trail. The hike features 27 sound-inspired interactive installations along a rolling 6-kilometer trail, each one created by an individual artist. Many of the installations play on nature themes, like the Tonmühle.
This is interesting. We've got, looks like a millstone.
Exactly. It actually is a millstone, but it's hollow on the inside. So you got these little pieces of glass that interact with little pieces of metal that are built into this. And if you turn it, not too fast, because it loses sound if you turn too fast. Right. If you turn it, you hear that sound, and it sounds like these rocks on a riverbank in the floating water.
All right.
Yeah, it's sounds that are created by nature and by natural materials.
The Swiss cowbell is ubiquitous, of course, finding its way into several of the installations. The hike is an easy walk, with much of it stroller and wheelchair accessible, and it can be completed in a half-day saunter. Every stop has a hands-on sound-producing activity for the kids, or for that kid that resides in all of us. While walking the actual trail is free, you can purchase a ticket that gives you chairlift rides on either end and a bus back to your starting point. My next stop is the Klangschmiede, or Sound Forge, which also has a small but impressive museum. Hans Heinrich teaches me some of the finer points of how the Swiss have used sound over the ages to communicate, entertain, and to keep track of their beloved cows. One surprising sound comes from rolling a 5-franc coin around the inside of a bowl traditionally used for separating cream from milk.
And it makes a lot of noise. Yeah, it's only a bowl, but it's loud. Oh, I went too fast.
The tour culminates in a lesson on forging a real Swiss cowbell. With Roland's help as interpreter, resident blacksmith Josef Brand gives me a bit of history and explains how the bells are made to produce different tonal qualities. Then he puts me through my paces. We start with a blank cut from a steel sheet. That's heated in a coal forge to 1,000 degrees centigrade. With a little elbow grease, I'm able to pound the softened steel into submission, using a series of graduated forms and specialized hammers, reheating the metal each time it cools. No, by the way, I'm not giving up my day job. Once the two halves are shaped, we join them with molten brass. Heated to over 1,100 degrees centigrade, the brass melts into the seam. A clapper and handle completes the bell, and it'll be added to the collection here in the museum. I'm gonna guess mine will be somewhere way in the back. The Swiss are rightfully proud of their heritage of sound. To preserve that heritage, the people of the region recently voted in favor of a referendum to fund a new Klanghaus, which will serve as a gateway to sound activities as well as a musical performance and recording space. I'm looking forward to returning to the region when the building opens in 2023. Ready to plan your visit to Toggenburg and experience the world of Swiss sound firsthand? Check out these links and visit jeffwilsonregularguy.com, where you'll find itineraries, tips, and more travel videos.